What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Zaynomics Gaming. Today we will be going over the brand new auto rifle Perpetualis. But before we jump into that, if you like this content or you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It is a free way to support me and I greatly appreciate it. Now onto this auto rifle. To obtain this auto rifle, you will have to play the Defiant Battleground playlist that we have weekly that has come with the season of Defiance. It is the new 3-player activity and overall it's pretty enjoyable. There's a lot of ads to kill, there's a lot of stuff to do inside these activities. They try to make them as unique as possible, but that's not really why I'm here. I'm really here for the story and to grind out these brand new seasonal weapons. And Perpetualis is definitely top tier right now, in my opinion, for auto rifles just because it's craftable. And it also comes with brand new perks that pair very well with the brand new subclass Strand. Now, if you did not purchase Lightfall and you do not have access to Strand, you may not even bother to craft this weapon just because that's one of the strong points with this weapon is it pairs very nicely with Strand and is also a Strand weapon. It is a 600 round per minute, so it does fire fairly quickly and is overall just a good slayer. Now, one thing that I notice most about this weapon is the fact that it does tip off to the left a little bit in terms of recoil. So you'll see me kind of miss some shots here or there just because I'm not used to that, how that recoil pattern is. So when you spray at the wall or you spray at an enemy, the weapon does tend to kick to the left. But other than that, it is a fantastic auto rifle. Now, jumping into the base stats of this weapon, that's pretty much before we actually dive into what perks to actually go with. You can actually see that recoil sitting at a 53, and that is pretty terrible in my opinion anyways. Like I said, the weapon does kick off to the left, but luckily for us, there are some perks that can actually help increase the recoil and make it a lot more vertical than what it is right now, and it makes it a lot more manageable, especially when we talk about PvP here in a second. Now, before we actually dive into traits though, I did want to go over the base traits of this weapon. As I stated previously, the damage fall off when firing from the hip is roughly 16 meters, and when you aim down sights, you're looking at roughly 25 and a quarter. Reload time is almost 2 seconds, and overall it is a great feeling weapon. The handling is perfect. That's one of the things I actually enjoy. And then the stability is kind of low, but the biggest drawback for this weapon for me is actually the recoil. So my barrel perk may actually differ from what others prefer, but for me, the barrel perk that I'm actually going to go with is Arrowhead Break. My god roll for PvE and PvP will include Arrowhead Break for the barrel perk. Now we're going to jump into some of these trait combinations and what you should use. First, we're actually going to go over PvE. For PvE, we're actually going to go with Arrowhead Break as our barrel perk, as I previously stated. And then for our mag size, we're actually going to go with Appended Mag. It does give you a bump in that mag size without actually hurting you. That's my overall perk, mag perk that I actually suggest inside of PvE. You could go Extended Mag, but it does kind of cut down on that reload speed a little bit, and I really don't like reload speed being so sluggish. So for me, I'm going to go with Appended Mag. Now for that third trait column, I'm actually going to go with, now keep in mind these will be enhanced traits, but I'm actually going to go with Enhanced Envious Assassin. And I know that it kind of goes against this weapon because you can't actually use it to actually proc Envious Assassin like you want to. And Envious Assassin is basically, if you get kills with another weapon, it overflows this weapon. And that's okay and all, but you have to actually get consistent amount of kills and rapid kills to fully take advantage of this actual perk. And when it does work, it works well. It's hard for me to actually use this trait in certain scenarios because sometimes it just doesn't play out the way that you want to. Now, if you really want to proc Envious Assassin more often and actually see a potential boost in ammo economy for this actual weapon, or I should say ammo inside of your mag, I would definitely pair this with an LMG because you can get a lot of kills very quickly with an LMG versus say trying to get kills with a rocket launcher or trying to swap to another special weapon in your energy slot, trying to get multiple kills to get Envious Assassin where you want it to be. Now, there is another perk that you could use, which I really love this season. It's an S tier perk, is actually Keep Away, and that gives you a boost to pretty much all of your stats: reload, stability, range, and that's just when enemies are not near. So all you have to do is pretty much just keep your distance and stay 15 meters away from your enemies, and you will have this procced all the time. So it is a very good trait, and I don't want anyone to look away from it. It is one of the best traits in the game right now, especially for a long distance ranged weapons. Now for my fourth perk, I am going to be going with a brand new perk called Hatchling, and it works very well. It synergizes very well with Strand, and basically it states precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with non-precision weapon spawns a threadling at the target's location. And the threadlings work very well if you are using a warlock class, because you're able to take advantage of the actual threadlings. There's a lot of cool builds that you could use, especially with the brand new exotic swarmers, and they pretty much do all the work for you. For me personally, I would not use this weapon on any other subclass other than Strand. This weapon was made for the Strand subclass. Now if you do want to craft this role and you decide to use it on another subclass, we have Demolitionist, we have Golden Tricorn. Those are two fantastic perks as well, but it's hard to pass up that this is a Strand weapon and it has hatchlings, so it synergizes very well with the Strand subclass that we got with Lightfall. Now also the origin trait of this weapon is Noble Deeds, and this Noble Deeds origin trait is found on all of these Season of Defiance weapons, and this pretty much states gain charges by assisting your allies via revives, healing, overshields, and subclass buffs. So consume charges by defeating foes. While charged, this weapon is granted bonus handling, reload speed, and sword charge rate if you have a sword. And like I said, this pairs very well with Keep Away because you're able to get an increase in handling and reload speed. And then with Keep Away, you're also getting a increase in range, 30 reload speed, and you're getting better accuracy. So it is, you're kind of double dipping, and all you have to do is heal your allies. Like in PvP, all you gotta do is just, throw a healing grenade, bam, you proc Noble Deeds. As long as you're helping your allies, you'll proc Noble Deeds. So it's a pretty good trait. Now jumping into PvP, there are a couple of changes, but not really too much. Like I stated, the barrel perk will stay the same at Arrowhead Break. Instead of using a pendant mag for the mag rounds, I will actually be using accurized rounds just because you get a bump in range. For my third trait column, I'm going to be using Keep Away. Second best for me would actually be Zen Moment, just because I want to control that stability and that recoil. Now for my final trait column, I am still going to stick with Hatchlings, but my second best would be Eye of the Storm. It basically increases accuracy as your health gets lower, and with auto rifles you lose health so fast, and you can get in those fights where accuracy really matters, and with this weapon jumping around so much, that can really play a part into who wins the gunfight. So for me, Eye of the Storm would be second best, but I like Hatchlings overall in quick play just because you can proc the threadlings. It works very well with the Warlock class, especially with the new exotic Swarmer boots. Now if you use the base perks that I've actually recommended for your range, you will actually gain a plus 20, and that will increase your damage fall off distance. So firing from the hip, you're looking at roughly 18 meters, and then aiming down sights, you'll be at 28.25. Now my handling would actually increase by plus 15, giving me a 77 overall. My recoil will actually be a 98, so we'll go from a 53 to a 98. And my bounce intensity will actually drop all the way down to a 2, whereas before it was at 47, which would explain why the weapon was hitting off to the left a lot. I really don't like that. So if you can keep that recoil pretty straight, you'll be really good. Now most of the time I do play on controller, so if you play on mouse and keyboard, it might be a little bit more substantial for you. You'd be able to handle it a little bit better, but on controller it's a little fight here or there, especially when there's so many other better weapons that are more straight lined than this actual weapon. Is this like gnawing hunger or anything? No. It is a good weapon, however, but I actually don't recommend playing with it inside of PvP. It is okay, it's not bad, but you're not going to be winning Trials of Osiris matches or being very competitive at the top end of the comp playlist just because it is an auto rifle. There are other things out there that can completely map you compared to this, and 600s right now are not in the best place, though this is the overall most popular auto rifle 600 round per minute that we have in the game currently. And that's to be expected, especially since the weapons just come out. You know, everybody wants to craft them. And keep in mind, this is a crafted roll. Like I said, I do like the weapon, but the things that draw back for me are the stability, and just it doesn't have that ease of use compared to other weapons, especially inside PvP. It is a good weapon inside of PvE, but you know, there are other options out there, I'll say. But it does work pretty well. And then with the overload mods that we have, it does pair well with that. So if you have to do any type of legend content or master content, you know, you'll have the overload champion secured. And you know, it does, like I said, it does pair well with Strand. It's not a bad weapon at all. I definitely recommend everyone to craft one, especially any crafted weapon. You kind of want to get your hands on and craft them, because like I always say, you never know when Bungie will just flip a switch, and then this weapon could be absolutely meta. It could be melting people inside PvP, and it could be the pest all around primary inside PvE. You just never know with Bungie. So I definitely recommend that you guys craft a weapon, but I don't think it's a dire need to absolutely get it done today because it's the best weapon in the game. Now, I didn't want to keep this video too long. Obviously, we will be going over some builds here and there coming soon, but right now I'm trying to get all these weapon reviews done. I will have my bow video out maybe towards the end of the weekend. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. It is a free way to support me, and I appreciate everyone that has been watching my videos. It means a lot. So keep on grinding, and I will see you all in the next video.